What's up YouTube, AM Figures here. Today I'm bringing you another review. This time it is of the Figma Katsuki Bakugo from My Hero Academia. So before we jump into the figure, as usual, let's start with the box. So as you can see already, the back of the box here. And then this is the side of the box, got a nice pose for Bakugo. Here's the front of the box, just a window, and then the writing. The top of the box right here, just another nice pose for Bakugo. And again, a pose for Bakugo on the other side of the box. And on the bottom, it's the same as the top. And then the back again. So there you go. That is the box for Bakugo. Now for accessories, we'll look at these two really quick. He comes with these two blast effects, that one and this one. They go on both of these hands. That I have on him right now, but I only decided to only have one for the moment at least. But yeah, they just peg into the hand. Let's see if I can, right there. There's a little hole right there. They just peg right into his hand. So very nice looking accessory pieces, I gotta say. It's a very nice looking blast effect, explosion effect, whatever you'd like to call it. But that's that, and now we will look at his hands and faces. So in here, you can see all the hands that he comes with. He comes with two open palm hands, this one and this one. Two fist hands, or over here actually. And then he also, just like Deku, he comes with two grabbing hands. Not sure what he's meant to be grabbing still, but yeah, those two hands are what he comes with. And Bakugo only comes with two faces, the one he's got on now, and this angry yelling face, which looks great. I love the bloodshot look on his eyes. Looks fantastic, if you ask me. But that's it for accessories. So without further ado, let's jump right into the figure. Now, Bakugo is a great character in My Hero, in my opinion. And I'm sure in everyone else's opinion. And Figma really did well with this figure, I have to say. They really did. Later on, I'm going to show you a comparison between this figure and the McFarlane Bakugo. And this one is just the clear winner. It's just like Deku, you know, the Figma is the clear winner of the two. Whoops. But yeah, so I'll do a quick 360 and then we'll get him off the stand and do some articulation. So it's just a standard Figma stand, you know, it just pegs right into his back, like so. Easy enough. These pieces here, I do recommend be careful. As far as I know, I haven't tried. I will not try. As far as I know, they're not removable. Try that at your own risk. I'm not gonna, because yeah, I don't want to be responsible for anybody breaking their figure or anything. So I don't think they're removable. I would not try it if I were you, but of course, what you do with your figures is totally up to you. But yeah. So, very cool figure. Very cool. Now, like I said, I will get him off the stand, and we will look at his articulation, which I will say is a bit better than Deku. I think they did a better job with this figure. So, starting with his arms, he does have like an elbow swivel. It swivels a bit on his elbow. I'll move this down. His shoulder comes up about that far. Actually, might be able to come up a little further, but no. But yeah, that's about it. This piece here, not removable, but it does kind of hang freely. Not necessarily freely. I'm pretty sure it's pegged in somewhere on the back of his neck. But these two pieces are like movable, so they don't really get in the way. But just be careful because it is a small piece, so it's probably easy to break. I'd imagine at least. But yeah, so that's that. He does have actually I think it's a single jointed elbow. I could be wrong on that, but it still does bend pretty nicely. About little less than 90 degrees. So maybe like somewhere between 45 and 90 degrees. But what's very cool is there is actually a joint in his gauntlets. So let's see if I can do it. it's kind of tight. I don't know if it's just on my figure or if it's on all the Bakugos, but this joint is kind of tight, so it's difficult to get it to move. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it to move on camera at this moment. One thing also, there's a couple joints in here. So the elbow does swivel here, but then there's also a swivel here at this end of the gauntlet right there. And then the green part of the gauntlet also twists. There we go. I got it to twist a bit. Let's see if I can get it back. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, so the green part of the gauntlet also twists, which is very cool. A lot of articulation in his arm there. It's great. And as for his hand, it's the, standard Figma joints on his hand. And now we'll jump into his torso. Or actually, I realized I skipped something. I skipped how his head articulates. So he can look up about that far. Not too far. Not great, honestly. But far enough for me at least. And he can look down about that far. So pretty much touch his chin to his neck, which is good. That's pretty good range of, motion there. Now we'll jump into his torso. So he is better than Deku in this aspect. He can crunch forward pretty far. The only issue is he doesn't crunch back that far. So his forward crunch is good. The backwards, not that great. But that can be overlooked, I think, because you're not really going to be bending your back backwards, crazy, what's the word? Like at crazy angles or anything. You'd snap your spine. So I don't think it's entirely necessary to have like an enormous backwards crunch. I guess that's what I'll call it. So that I can overlook. But yeah, so very good there. And so for his legs at the hip joint, much better than Deku. Still doesn't come up all the way forward, but it comes out a lot further. They definitely improved the sculpt here. I just wish they had done the same thing for Deku, because his legs can barely move out forwards. Very unfortunate, but at least they did fix it with Bakugo. I will give them that. It's very good. He has, looks like a single jointed knee. Yeah. But it bends back pretty good. Pretty far, I should say. He does have a swivel at the shin, so his boots do swivel. And then he has his ankle joint here, which is pretty dang good. Bends down about that far, up about that far. Of course, he does have toe articulation, which is always nice. And then his ankle pivot, which is very good. Ankle pivot is always welcome on any action figure. So I think it is a great looking figure. I do love it, truthfully. It's gonna fit in very well on my hero shelf. So that will do that for the review. Let me peg him back into his stand and we'll get some size comparisons in. There we go. Got him in his stand so he doesn't fall over, because I am using this little stage, if you couldn't tell by this back here, is actually a sketchbook. So it's the only white, what's the word? The only white, I'll just call it a stage. It's the only white, like, stage that I could really find to use. Because I've kind of gotten tired of shooting on my carpet. Because I just don't think it looks nice. I think my carpet's kind of ugly. Not to mention there's actually a big stain underneath this notebook. So don't want to show that on camera. I have to get that out of the carpet. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. But I'm going off on a tangent. My apologies. You don't need to know all that. But anyways, the reason I put him back, there was a point to that story. The reason I put him on the stand is because this notebook is kind of hard to keep people standing on, because it's a little curved, like the pages are a little warped. So like the slightest touch and he would have fallen over if he wasn't on a stand. So that was the point to that long story. My apologies. So, yeah, let's get right into the size comparisons. So first, of course, we have Figma Deku. Now, they are both on the Figma stands, so of course, this is exactly the height difference that they have. Very good scale, of course. You know, they're both Figma, so I would expect there to be good scale. If there wasn't a good scale in these figures, I'd be severely disappointed. But yeah, they look great together, honestly. I can't wait to pose them up next to my All Might McFarlane figure. Looks great. I cannot wait for the Revoltech All Might. It looks so good. But anyways, here's these two. They look great. Now, we will get the McFarlane figures out here. So, of course, All Might. Probably going to have to move my camera back because he does not fit on the camera. So, there we go. Now we have All Might and Katsuki Bakugo. So, pretty good scale there, I think. Same with, the same with this All Might and Deku. I think it looks great. And now, to bring in another McFarlane figure, we have Shigaraki. Tomura Shigaraki. I will be doing a review of him. It's just, I broke his ankle, so I'm not going to, mess with his ankles. But the rest, I will do my best to show. But actually, I'll figure something out. Anyways, here's the scale for these two. I think, I'm not sure, honestly. It looks good with All Might, but I think Shigaraki is a bit too tall. I don't think, he's definitely not as tall as All Might. So he doesn't even scale well with the All Might from his own line. But that's, for another time. But yeah, so Shigaraki doesn't really scale well with Bakugo. He's too big. It looks good. I love the figure. It looks good. It's the only Shigaraki we have at the moment that I know of, at least. So, of course, it's great. But doesn't scale well at all. Scales a bit better with the McFarlane, Bakugo, and Deku. I will be showing the McFarlane Bakugo right now. Let's move these two aside. And here is his McFarlane counterpart. Now, okay. I got the McFarlane Bakugo because I originally wasn't going to get the Figma figures for My Hero. And then I kept watching My Hero, and it became a little obsession of mine. I really love the anime. I do. It's fantastic. And so I decided, screw it, I'm gonna get the Figma. So I have both of these, of course, as you can tell by seeing them both on camera. And I gotta say, this one, Figma, obviously, of course, Figma takes it. It's just so clean. It's so nice. Whereas the paint apps on this Bakugo aren't the greatest. Alrighty, so there's probably going to be a bit of a rough cut here. My apologies for that, but I got a phone call just as I was recording. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and the phone call still came through, so I'm going to have to check in my settings after that. Excuse me. But yeah. So once again, my apologies for the rough cut. I usually... Sorry. Bit out of breath, had to run downstairs and then run back up. A little out of shape if you couldn't tell. But yeah, I usually try to do my videos without any cuts, and I like doing it that way. I feel like it's smoother, obviously, because there's no cuts. But I just like doing it that way. I think it's kind of like my quote-unquote style. But regardless, I'm gonna have to throw in a rough cut here. And add this part of the video, so my apologies for that. But anyways, continuing with the review. Yeah, the Figma Bakugo wins by far. Now, don't get me wrong, the McFarlane Bakugo is cool for $20. If you ever had to pay more for him, I would not recommend doing so. I don't think these McFarlane figures are worth more than $20. That's just me. I feel like they could be doing a much better job with these figures, but they're not. Excuse me. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I just bumped my camera. Sorry for the shake. But yeah. So the clear winner here is the Figma, although the McFarlane Bakugo is not terrible for 20 bucks. The gauntlets on this Figma Bakugo are a million times better. I was very frustrated with these gauntlets because they're so heavy. They're very bulky, and his arms are very thin. And so they're really way down his arms, and getting him in this pose was such a pain in the butt. So that being said, we'll move on to another quick size comparison. Let's see. All right, here we have SH Figuarts Super Saiyan 2 Goku. The Super Saiyan 2 hair is a custom piece made by Fairy Tale Customs. I recommend checking him out if you haven't already. But yeah, so here's the scale between these two. So pretty, you know, about actually here. Let me hold him up to the height of Bakugo's stand. So this is the actual scale between these two. Goku is taller, of course, as he should be. But yeah, so he could probably fit in pretty well if you wanted to do a little crossover stuff with, you know, Dragon Ball versus My Hero or something like that. And just for the hell of it, we will bring in a McFarlane Captain Price from Call of Duty. Now, I play a bit of Call of Duty. Not good at the game at all, but it's fun. And Captain Price is one of my all-time favorite characters, so this figure is awesome. But enough about that. Here's the size comparison between the two. Clearly, the McFarlane is much taller, especially when held on the same level as his stand. Of course, this is the actual scale, so I guess arguably he could fit in. He looks about the height of a... Actually, maybe not. I'm not actually sure how old the kids are in My Hero. Obviously, you know, they're in high school, but I'm not sure exactly how old they are. I can only assume, you know, they're like 15 or so. So actually, maybe he could fit in if you wanted to do a little crossover and with Call of Duty and My Hero for whatever reason. He probably could fit in pretty well without looking stranger than it already would be to see those two franchises together. But yeah. So now for the last comparison, we will bring in the Spider Armor Mark III from Marvel Legends. Here is his scale here. And you could argue that he could fit in well if you wanted to do another crossover, Spider-Man and My Hero. Because Spider-Man, you know, he in this suit, you know, this is from the game, so he's an adult. But, you know, there are times he was a teenager, so he's only a little taller than Bakugo, but that could fit, that could work. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I helped so any of you make up your minds on whether or not you wanted to pick this guy up. If you are a My Hero fan and you like Bakugo, I highly recommend it. This figure is fantastic. It's just a great looking piece, truly it is. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it from me. So if you liked the video, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment. If you didn't like the video, feel free to leave a dislike. Although I ask, if you do leave a dislike, please tell me why you didn't like the video. I don't think that's too much to ask. Of course, you don't have to. If you don't like the video, just hit the dislike button and move on. It's up to you. But as I always say in these videos, these are for you guys. You know, these reviews are for you. I'm making these for you. I want to be able to help you guys. So, and the best way for me to do that is to know what I'm doing wrong. So if you dislike the video, please tell me why. I'd appreciate that greatly. But anyways, that's going to be it. So, hit that subscribe button if you really liked it. You can hit the bell too, so you're notified whenever I upload. But other than that, I hope you guys are having a great day, night, evening, afternoon, whatever it may be, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.